Yo, what's up guys? Welcome back to Headbanger's Closet. Appreciate everybody checking out the channel. This video I want to talk about Pantera's The Great Southern Trendkill. Why? Well, it's my favorite Pantera record, and it just celebrated a birthday. Came out May 7th, 1996. If my math is correct, it's 26 years old. So like I said, it's my favorite Pantera record. It's not the best Pantera record by any stretch of the imagination, but to me, it is my favorite. A lot of reasons behind that, which I'll get into a little bit later. But if you've been watching my channel for any length of time, you will know that when an album has a birthday, I like to talk about the record, name a handful of songs off the album that I really like, tell a few stories about what it means to me, and kind of celebrate the birthday of an awesome record. So this will be no different. Like I said, it came out May 7th, 1996. They recorded this from October 95 to February of 96 in Chasin Studios in Dalworthington Gardens, Texas, and Nothing Studios in New Orleans, Louisiana. That's where they finished it up. Great record, like I said, a little different than some of the others, that came before it. When this thing came out, they were already an established heavy metal band. In fact, I'll go out on a limb. Don't even think it's going out on a limb. I think it's actually the truth that during the 90s, like the mid-90s, Pantera was up there with Metallica, like right neck and neck for the biggest heavy metal band out there at the time. And I feel with this particular record, they took some chances that they didn't take on the previous. And then the follow-up, which was Reinventing the Steel, they kind of went back to the old formula. But, you know, for you guys that know and love Pantera, I'm not going to, get into all their influences. You guys already know that. But to me, Pantera is that great mix of really classic heavy metal sound with that southern rock sound that they had going on, which, like I said, they were listening to that, coming up, along as with Metallica and Megadeth and bands like that, and they come up with their own unique sound. And this one, like I said, they take some chances on. There's a lot of cool melodies on this. There's some really cool like drum beats and like kind of like just different stuff that Vinny's doing on the album. A lot of different things that Dime's doing on the record. Phil, notable that he's in a really bad spot with heroin addiction. The lyrics really show that. The subject matter of the songs really come out in this really personal record, which I feel it's more than the others, including Reinventing Steel, which would come after it. Great melodies, like I said, namely Floods. Just a hauntingly cool melodic song that just has this killer guitar outro solo on it. My favorite Pantera song of all time is Living Through Me. One of the heaviest riffs known to man in that song. I love Phil's vocal delivery that goes along with Dime's riffs. But there's a spoken word kind of part, again, taking chances, doing different things. There's a really long spoken word or whatever they got going on in the middle of that tune where it's like, it's cool for like 30 seconds, then okay, you're like, yeah, it's getting a little long. And then they come back and kick your face in again when the riff kicks in again and the verses and the chorus kick in again for that particular song. Just great stuff. Side one, you've got the Great Southern Trendkill, the title track. Really hits you in the face right away with a really fast, heavy song. And then the next couple of tunes on the first side, right? Actually, all the tunes on the first side. War Nerve, Drag the Waters, which is the radio single. 10s and 13 Steps to Nowhere. Kind of take it down a little bit in terms of speed, but ramp it up in the heaviness department. Just great stuff. Like I said, a lot more of that heavy metal from the 80s mixed with that southern rock from the 70s and 80s that kind of gives that signature Pantera sound, kind of like, swamp metal, I like to call it. Really cool stuff. Flip it over to side two. You've got another just hauntingly beautiful kind of balladish type of tune, really, if you want to call it a ballad. It's a ballad Pantera style in Suicide Note Part 1. And then, boom, kicks you in the face again with Suicide Note Part 2, which is straight up thrasher. And then, like I mentioned a little bit ago, Living Through Me, just a super heavy, heavy song, but kind of loses a little bit for me with that long middle part, whatever you call it. Then you got Floods, mentioned that earlier. Like I said, hauntingly beautiful ballad type of tune from Pantera with a great Dimebag Darrell outro guitar solo. One which you can find on YouTube, the extended version, and then somebody cut it where it's just like 2.5 minutes of nothing but that solo, just kind of over and over again. Really cool stuff. And then you've got The Underground in America, which is a cool tune, kind of a sad tune. And then you've got Reprise, Sandblasted Skin, which is a really cool song. Another kind of slower but really heavy tune, which we'll get to that in a minute because I also want to talk about the show I saw where they were in support of this record. So really, really great album. I actually showed you guys this particular record a few episodes ago when I did like a This Just Into the Collection. It is a reissue on East West Records, kind of like orange creamsicle type of deal. Here's the insert right here. Pretty cool. And then, like I said, you've got the East West Records. There you can see the EW for East West Records, Pantera. It's, on that like kind of orange. It looks a little bit white here on the video, but it is kind of an orange. And then obviously the kind of like blast out orange, really bright orange you can see here as well. Really cool. I really dig these reissues. There's another one for Reinventing the Steel where it's kind of like flames, which obviously if you know that album, you'll know the cover. Got a lot of flames on it. So that's pretty cool. And I don't know if it's East West Records that does that reissue or not, but these Pantera reissues are pretty badass in my opinion. So, but yeah, that's the record. It is my favorite. I just kind of dug the different sounds of the album. It still sounds like Pantera, but like I said earlier, they took some chances. There's some different melodic parts in it, and I really liked that. When it came out, May of 96, I was just about to finish my sophomore year of college, and I do remember, me and friends hanging out, having a few beers down on the dock overlooking my pond at night that summer, just cranking Pantera, having the cops called on us a couple times, which is always fun. But yeah, great record. Love this thing. Like I mentioned early in the episode, it's not their best. I think everybody would basically say a vulgar display of power. Far Beyond Driven's their best. This one's cool. It's got a special place in my heart. And so let's get to the show. They played Ozfest 97 a little over a year after the album came out, and I did not see Pantera on their U.S. headlining tour for this album. It wasn't until the Ozfest that I saw him. It was the second time I've seen Pantera. Saw him at the Strand in Providence, Rhode Island on the Far Beyond Driven tour. But this was on Sunday, I believe it was, Sunday, June 14th, 1997 at Great Woods Amphitheater in Mansfield, Massachusetts. If you're not really familiar with Great Woods, it's just standard outdoor amphitheater. Seated pavilion covered with a roof, and then the lawn. My seat was a lawn ticket. I was over on the left-hand side of the lawn, like two people from the rail. On that side, I was far enough on the left where I could have walked up and put my hands on the rail if I wanted to. I was with some people. I just stood where I was, and I had a great vantage point. Rex Brown was directly in front of me. Just a little bit to the right of that, obviously, was Phil and Vinny, and then farther to the right, on which I guess the stage left would be Dime. Great vantage point. I don't like to be in the lawn, though. I would have much rather been down below in the pavilion, which I was 3 years later in the summer of 2000 on Ozfest 2000 when they were in support of the Reinventing the Steel album. But anyway, so this particular show, me and my friends all went. There was 6 of us that went, and we all, had our like blankets we were going to put on the lawn and stuff like that. So we hung out in the parking lot. I drove, as well as did my buddy Chris. And we just kind of drank, standing in the back of my truck, put the tailgate down, had the cooler, had some hot dogs, drank a couple of Bud Lights. Back then I could only handle like 4 drinks before I could go into the show. I just had a good time hanging out. And I don't know if you can see from here, but the doors were opening at 11:30 a.m., which I thought was cool. I missed those all-day metal fests. Ozfest went on for a long time, and not really sure why it stopped. But when I moved to Georgia, it was the last 2 years of Ozfest, and then Mayhem Fest kind of started, and that lasted 5 or 6, 7 years. That was really cool as well. I went to all of them, never missed one. And coming down to Georgia, though, I didn't play in Atlanta. I had to drive to Tennessee every time. Rumors were Sharon didn't like the promoter in Atlanta. I don't know. But anyhow, so don't really know why those, Ozfest and Mayhem Fest stopped. Probably finance reasons, but I went to all of those. Like I said, all of them seemed packed out full of people. Didn't really have problems selling tickets from what I gathered, but I wish they'd bring them back because they were fun. Really got to, kind of find out about a lot of smaller bands, playing early time slots. There wasn't hardly anybody there. You get a good spot to check them out. One of those bands was 3 Inches of Blood, which I still listen to a lot today. So really cool stuff. But yeah, anyway, so me and my friends get in there. It was a fairly cool lineup For some reason, I didn't print out the whole lineup to tell you guys, but, you know, we're doing a Pantera episode, so whatever. We get in there fairly early and just kind of take it all in. And Pantera played, I want to say like around 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock in the afternoon. It was light out, it was hot, and, you know, I don't remember everything from the set. It was quite a long time ago, but I do remember they sounded really good. There was a lot of bands on that particular Ozfest and other ones that just kind of didn't sound that great. Pantera sounded good. Not really sure what was going on with Phil at the time, so hopefully he was clean or cleaner. But they sounded great. And one thing I remember about Dime is pretty much every song he had a new guitar. And, you know, Confederate flag guitar, American flag guitar. He had the Randy Rhoads polka dot. Had the Blue Lightning one. He had the Zakk Wylde, like, circle, black and white circle one, if I'm not mistaken. There were all those Deans, you know, I don't play guitars, I don't really know what they're called, but you know that body, like the Explorer V-type body with the V thing on the top of the neck or whatever. Really cool stuff, really cool guitars. Really liked looking at those, and every time he got a new one, I'd look on the monitor, you know, up above and like get a close-up of his guitar, because I was kind of a ways away. I had a good spot, I could see him, I just was, you know, they were kind of little, you know what I'm saying? So, but, you know, great set. So the set list was pretty cool. It was Cowboys from Hell, A New Level, Walk, Becoming, 5 Minutes Alone, and then the only song off the Great Southern Trendkill, which was Sandblasted Skin. Cool song, but man, there's like 5 or 6 songs on that record I thought would have been really, really great there, because you got a really cool, you know, heavy, you know, punch in the face type of song like 5 Minutes Alone. Then they played something off of Great Southern Trendkill, and then they go into Domination Hollow, which I thought there was some other songs they could have put right in that spot and maybe kind of flow a little better, but it's still a cool song. I like it. Then they go into This Love, and then they close out the set with Fucking Hostile. Now, I don't care where Pantera's playing. They need you, and maybe they did. I've seen them 3 times in my life, which I'm kind of regret that I didn't see them more, but closing the show with Fucking Hostile was amazing. And like I said, I was far on the left of the lawn. Pretty cool spot, but man, pits broke out all over the lawn, and I was like, okay, let's pick up the blanket here because we might have to move. We didn't, but I mean, I thought we were gonna. But it was a really, really cool set, awesome show. Really glad I got to see him on this album. Like I said many times, this is my favorite Pantera record, so yeah, I mean, I'm interested to hear what you guys have to say about this album. Did you see him on this particular tour, Ozfest, or their own U.S. headlining tour for this record? I've seen a lot of videos on Pantera ranking. I've talked to people on Twitter, and we've discussed Pantera. And this album's always up there, but it's really never higher than 3. And I get it, you know, Far Beyond Driven and Vulgar Display of Power, the 2, you know, classics in my opinion, as well as Cowboys from Hell. So I would, you know, I can see why people put those like 1 through 3. But to me, I think this one belongs up there. Like, you know, I like Cowboys from Hell. I'd put that maybe like 2 if I was doing like best. You know, maybe Vulgar Display. But anyway, I really like this record. It's a can't miss for me. There's not a song on there that I'm going to skip when it comes on. Always listen to it and headbang. So tell me what you guys think about this album. Where does it rank in Pantera's discography for you? Hit that like and subscribe if you don't mind. Really appreciate it. Go find me on Instagram, though. Really cool Instagram page I got going on, I feel. Maybe you think it sucks, I don't know. But I put a lot of pictures of my record collection. A lot of live shots I take at shows. I got to do the Death Angel, Exodus, and Testament show. Went to that a few weeks ago here in Atlanta at the Masquerade. I got to start posting photos of the pictures I took during that show. A lot of cool shots I got. I was in the front row, right on the rail there. So anyway, yeah, hit that like, subscribe. Go find me on Instagram, Headbangers Closet. I'll follow back there. And appreciate you guys tuning in. It's been a while since I did a video. But I'll have another one for you guys very soon. As always, cheers and enjoy your weekend.